now that you're shot, how are you feeling? Are you like feeling like you're invincible? Are you going right back to the streets? Well, what do you do with yourself?
At that time, so I healed up in the Bronx. They sent me to another foster home from Flatbush to East New York at this time. And this is where like I really get linked in with the A trade. Shout out to Caleb. Free that man, Kenny Birch. He's doing 25 to life right now. He's the last time he's in Auburn now. He just left Clinton.
How old are you now? And you link up with the A-Trays?
Yeah, I'm linked up in the A trades, but I'm still loyal to EGCs because I never believed in that just hopping ship. But EGC still was under the gangster card. So we still could associate with A trades. So A trades was always like a second home at that time. But I end up going to East New York, getting involved deeper in the gang culture. That's a whole nother story. And I caught a gun charge back to back. I caught like two of them. The first one, I went back to the island for like 4 months. That was a whole nother gladiator
How old are you
school.
at this time? Are you still a juvenile?
This is like 18. So I'm just being able to get into the adults, It's like
Okay.
that happy medium there where they allowing adults to go into Rikers Island.
Are you
And
running into Bloods when you go to jail now?
yo, listen. So I'm a man, I'm gonna keep it real. If you was Crip in that time, talking about this is early 2000s, like 2005, 2006, 2007. Nobody could never say, like, you had to be a warrior. Like, when I'm saying warrior, it's lit. Like, so when I caught the second gun charge, let's talk about the first gun charge. I caught the first gun charge in Queens, going to do some shit that I could have been put away. Make the long story short. DTs snatched me up on the way, get jammed up, things of that nature, go straight to the island, gladiator school, right? I'm in the 3 building at this point, but I'm more in the dorm section. I ain't hit the max where the cells is at. Back to back. Getting jumped here, next house. Getting jumped here, next house. Getting jumped there, next house. And I finally landed into a house where I could kind of stay, get settled out. Did my time, right? But still, I'm in the dorm area, so it's not fully maxed out. I come home on it was like a probation period where you do half your time. You do 6 months on the island, which is 4 months, and you get probation. As soon as I get out, I get involved in everything in East New York. It's lit. I caught another gun charge in Lower East Side. And I ain't gonna say this, but Rock, I love you. That, Rock and all the people that was around me at that time, what happened and transpired that day. When the DTs came and searched, I had a car at this time. I had a 300C Benz at this time, right? So I was getting a little bit of bread. I'm not saying I was a baller, but I was all right. You know what I mean? I had a 300C 1985. So that's good for like, an 18-year-old, you know,
Yeah. Hell
you
yeah.
know, 18-year-old, at 10 seats, all black. The back seat was litty with the thotties, you feel me? Because I'm not paying for a hotel at that time. I was cheap as hell, so the back seat was lit. So when they searched the car, it wasn't mine, but I'm not gonna sit up here and say who's who, what the what, things of that nature. I get there, I actually have the little bit of money that time to bail out. I bail out, going back and forth to court. The music is starting to get hot now. Hot. And this is when I'm starting to rethink a lot of things. I don't want to say too much, but even that case that happened to me, that was somebody watching me at that time. And in the music industry, in the music business, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about that because things is realer than what could be. But they just say at that period of time, the C team is in my music career was really hot at that time. This round like Jinx the Juvie was hot. I told you about Nims. Before Uncle Murder, there was a dude named Enough Skills. I was around Jeff Chronicles. I was doing the 106 in Park, behind the scenes, the showcases, Pyramid. And when I got jammed up, I had a lot of anger and resentment because even though it wasn't my pistol, I also knew who directed the energy for me for to know that who there was guns in the car, you know? And I was out on the street getting hot, and I actually had an ultimatum by the so-called guy that was managing my music career, at that time. And I ain't really want to take that type of deal. So I just took my ass to prison, Shout out to Kalo. He held me down that day. That what happened, what transpired that day. Maybe one day as we get older we'll talk about it, but I'm not obliged to really talk about it.
All right, so you get to jail, right?
Yeah.
And the Crips are heavily outnumbered in there.
Yeah, so at this time I'm kind of like, poverty was a bad thing for me. I was definitely ashamed of poverty, and knowing that I'm going back to jail, I knew that all this little success that I was gaining momentum was gonna be clipped. All the money clipped. It's over with, I get back to jail. Now because it's my second time on the island, I'm not in no dorms no more. They send me to cells. It's lit. As soon as I get into the house, they like, yo, what's cracking, cuz? What's cracking? Da 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 da. I'm hearing the accent. I'm like, these are not Crips. Like, these are not Crips. Like, they're like, it was cracking. See khaki, see cool. They extra with the Crip lingo and stuff like that. So they sent a colorblind, which is in our lingo neutrals. They're like, yo, you banging? They saying across the hall. Mind you, when they brought me inside the house, they knew the COs knew it was gonna be drama. They brought me in late after lock-in. So everybody talking on the gate. They're like, he like, yo, you gang affiliated? I said, yeah, I'm a Crip. He said, oh man. And got mad quiet. I said, wow, what's up? He said, yo, bro, I'm letting you know, those people that's on the gate, they're not Crips. That's all I'm gonna say. I said, it's lit. I ain't sleep that whole night, because I know early in the morning, Frosties is a must. At 6:30 morning lockout. I'm doing push-ups. I think I had a gray sweatsuit at that time, plain gray sweatsuit, and I had the what made it worse too, because they was upset. I had the black and red and white 11s. The 11s that's like black, white, and it got the red at the bottom.
Yep.
So they like, oh, he's stepping on Bloods. He disrespecting Bloods and things of that nature. Listen, as soon as that gate opened, it was like they was ready too. Like it was like they was like sturdy because they got quiet. That's when you know the house is dangerous, when it's quiet before the storm, because they already getting ready. As soon as that gate opened, I started seeing people trickle, but I don't know who's who, what's what. I'm not gonna lie, I sucker punched the first dude I saw. And it could have been a Muslim, could have been a king, it could have been a neutral, but I knew it was lit because the neutral, the colorblind already told me it's lit. I sucker punched them, they ramshacked me. beat me damn near half to death. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't a superhero yet at that time. You know what I'm saying? And what got it real, when the officers pepper sprayed it and he pulled me, I seen one dude try to come and swing at me. And he caught me, and I caught like a nip on my back of my jacket. I mean, not my jacket, my sweatsuit. And my whole sweatsuit was ripped, like torn, you know? That shit woke me up, I swear to God, on Crip. Like, I'm here. This is not gladiator school. This is not none of that. It's lit. The next house, I used to go drop my bag right at the A and B gate, getting out, cranking it. Boop! Drugging niggas. I don't give a fuck what you was, who you was, is you would. If I don't know that there's Crips in the house, I'm not staying there. I kept on doing that until I went to to the 5 building, and I ended up running to Mano Loc. I was quad 4 upper. Man, oh yeah, matter of fact, I'm lying. Before I even get there, they sent me to the light side on the project side in the 5 building, and I ended up getting DP behind this too, because you know, all my life, even so there was always oppression by Bloods, it was always like 1 or 2 Bloods that didn't hate Crips, and it was like associated with a close friend or family. And there was a dude named S. Dot. I get into the house. He like, yo, L Banger. Yo, what's up? I'm like, oh, what's up, S. Dot? He said, yo, come here. I said, what's up? What's going on in this house? He said, yo, listen, I ain't gonna lie. It's all Bloods, but you sanctioned. I'm like, I'm not sanctioned. I'm about to get out of here. He said, nah, don't put me in a situation. And he saved me. Make the long story short, he said, I'm about to go tell the homies, you family. I'm gonna go to the yard. He even went and told the police. When they went to the yard and told me that I was in that house, that means when I come back, it's lit. He told the police, yo, listen, he gotta go. And before I came back, they locked me in the cell. But some of them Blood dudes was pussy. Let me tell you why. Because as soon as I get inside the cell and they lock my cell, the dude, some older Blood dudes talking crazy. Yeah, son, why don't you let me in there with cuz? Why you didn't say all of that when I was coming through the building, when I was coming in, you didn't say shit. You knew I was Crip because I was talking to S. Dot. Why you didn't crank it then? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the corny shit. At that time, I started learning that their strength in numbers made them weak alone. You know? Because a lot of times when you always deep, you part of the popular crowd, you're not really trained to go against 5, 10. Your 1-on-1 game ain't all official. Now, mind you, granted, like, I ain't not gonna lie, there's some official blood. Shout out to L Rider, shout out to T.I. that I ran into, you know? But a lot of them was still like, they was used to the numbers, you know? And he was one of them. So I used to want to torture one of those type of dudes. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. You know? They send me, they pack me up, they send me out. I go downstairs to this like receptionist because they don't know where to put me at this time. They don't really, come to find out, they didn't want to send me to quad 4 upper yet because Crips was starting to form in that building. But I didn't know that. Only Mano Loc told me. He said, yo, listen, when he passed, because I thought he was Blood, he was like, you Crip? I told him, suck my dick. Because I didn't know if he was Crip or not. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bloods was pretending to be Crip because there was so many Crips low riding. The Bloods used to pretend to be Crip to catch a Crip, you know? So when he's like, yeah, it was cracking,
what do you mean by low riding?
So low riding means like you're not acknowledging that you Crip.
Okay.
You know? So Mano was like, yo, what's cracking? I was like, yo, suck my dick. I said that off the rip. It's lit, you know? He was like, yo, watch your mouth, because you're going to see me again. Yo, I'm crypto for real, man. Yo, cuz, don't worry about it. I'm going to see you, though, if you still rip riding. I'm going to see you, meaning he don't want to tell me that there's a house full of Crips because he want me to earn it to get there. I have to go through a world tour. you know? World tour means you're gonna go to house, shake it here, shake it there, and then eventually when they see, when the officers SRG you, then they put you in the house with the Crips. SRG means like, you know, you're a segregated, segregated registered gang member, something like that. It's been a long time, that SRG, you know?
So most of the places, the houses were controlled by Bloods. How many of them were Bloods and versus how many were Crips?
It had to be like 30-1.
So 30 houses for every one
No,
Crip house.
30 Bloods to 1 Crip. Not to mention that 1 Crip probably was low riding. So at this time, when I mean by low riding is they're probably still sprinkled about in the in the jails, but they're just not claiming. They turn Muslim, Christian, or they just saying they neutral,